In the last 3 videos, we built rooms for Kai, Jake, Cole, Zane, Nia, and Lloyd. And in this video, we're going to be doing Arin and Sora. Now, you might already know Arin and Sora have a bedroom in the LEGO Ninjago City Market set, but as you can see here, it is really small. So instead of giving them such a small room, I'm going to be giving them rooms this size. In our last video, we hit around 850 likes, so as a challenge this time, let's try to see if we can get 900. Now, without any further ado, let's get into it. So here's my plain room. There's really nothing in it, so I made sure the door was the color orange to fit Arin's color, and then I added a bed. Now this bed is pretty simple to build. As you can see here, it's nothing too big. There's actually already a bed for Arin in the Ninjago City Markets, and because of that I chose not to go too crazy with mine. So the next thing I did was add a drawer for him to put stuff in. It's a really basic build, nothing too big, nothing really anything. The next thing I wanted to do was add a little training thing for him to do because it's Arin and Arin just loves to be a ninja and train. If you were wondering how the build looked for this, it looks like this. It's nothing too big. And I also added one of those movie things to the bottom so it spins while he's hitting it. The next thing I wanted to add was an oven. One of Arin's favorite things to do is to bake, and so I thought this would be perfect. So I added the oven to his room. It was a pretty small build. If you were wondering how to build this, here's how. It's pretty simple, and yeah, that's really it for my oven. Now, one really big thing that is missing in this case is pie. He needs pie, and so I added the pie on top of the oven to look like he just cooked it. After that, I did have a bunch of empty things I need to put weapons on, and so I added a bunch of shurikens as well as a gun as his gun that he uses to anger stuff, and some katanas along with these shurikens to add something. And this is a dartboard with Raz's face on it. You guys had this amazing idea and you put it in the comments below, and I loved it. Like a dartboard, and one that would tie in with Sora's room later, so stay tuned to hear about that. Arin's room is almost complete. There is one last thing to add, and that's this. This was a really good idea I had to implement, and so I went ahead and did it. There's a picture of Arin in the Zane in his room. Now for the shop at home image, it looks like this. Actually, I think Arin looks really good like this. I wish LEGO sold him like that. But like always, this is $14.99 and has a total of 165 parts. Now onto Sora's room. So for Sora's room, it's completely empty and everything. I decided to add a pink door. Along with that, I have a bed. It's a really generic bed. There's nothing to it. It's just like the last bed. It's because Sora already has a bed in the Ninjago City Markets. The next thing I want to add were some drawers for Sora to have. This just had the basic drawer as well as some tools for Sora to use because she's just that kind of techie person. So already we have 2 things in this room and they're pretty generic. The next thing I want to add was the Empress dartboard. Just add a bunch of shurikens to the side so that people could shoot shurikens at her. What a filthy dragon hater. Headshot. The next thing I want to add to this room was a workbench. Now this workbench was a pretty simple build. I just had these weird little parts that I used for the stands. The next thing I wanted to do was add some weapons, and since I'm not sure Sora really had any weapons other than katanas, I left them there. I also did have a toolbox for her because I thought, she'd need a toolbox with all those tools she has up there. Another thing I wanted to do was add that Mech Master poster from the actual season. It would be a good reference to what happened in the show.
Yes, Mark 1 is gonna crush in the Mech Master 5000.
Tomorrow's race is the biggest prize pot of all time. If we win...
When we win?
Right. When we win, we could find ourselves a real place to live. I could build my own monastery and invite everyone else who lost their parents to live with us. To carry on the tradition of the ninja.
And as you saw a second ago, I built Sora's little booster thingy. Here's the build of it if you want it. Now, one thing you guys really wanted me to have was a miniature version of her mech like I did with Nia. So I have a micro version of her mech being hung on the wall. Her leg is on the side, and yeah. Here's the build of it. If you want to build it, just pause the video and check it out. If you need any more help, I can try to provide that. Well, here's the final set. Now for the minifigure, I just put on a hood part. Please don't get me for that. I wanted to do the hair, but I didn't know how. And yeah, this set retails for $14.99 and has a total of 186 parts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.